We are back. You know what I'm saying? This is fourth in the game. I'm with my boy Fred today. What's happening?
What's going on, man? What's happening? I have good energy because Mr. Opinion's not here to
Yeah,
bring my energy down.
there it
So
is.
I'm bringing it myself. I'm
Let's
bringing all
blame
the
him.
energy he would have.
Let's blame him. Let's blame him. So, just in what this is episode
29. Episode
29,
29, fourth in the
man.
game,
We
baby.
have been doing
You
this.
know what it is.
Ooh, 29 times, man. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy it. I love it. Let's get
A lot of
into it,
episodes.
So, for episode 29, we're going to start off with Colorado approves the return to the Big 12. The Buffaloes are going to lose the Pac 12, man. Leave the Pac 12, not lose it.
Yeah.
They're going to leave
No.
it. So,
Well, the Pac-12 is going to lose the Buffaloes.
there
Yes.
you go.
So either
One
way,
of the
one of
facts.
those.
Yeah. Well, ipso facto. But
Tomato,
so, what is
tomato.
your opinion on Colorado leaving the Pac 12, going into the Big 12, my man?
So I think I heard of these conferences before. And so like my understanding is that, they have such storied institutions as Oregon and USC and Ohio State and all these other things that are in these two conferences. But my understanding of this is that this is like moving from double A in baseball to triple A in Major League Baseball. So basically you're moving into just the division below the real college football division, which is obviously the SEC, which has, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn, all these people who have been winning championships now.
We say they don't count.
Decades.
They don't count.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Who cares? Who cares what happens in the Big 12 or the Pac 12? That's what I'm saying. Who's out there wondering what's going on with these conferences?
It's a conference that you know what I'm saying, they still have something out there. You know what I'm saying? They still got the USCs out there. They still got the Oregons that come to play. Stanford brings it every now and then. So I mean, it's not like they, and like you say, little boy conference or whatever. They still have some big guns out there that can still win national championships. That's still in the runnings all the time. They still have all that good stuff going on. So I would say that them moving to the Big 12 is like, because I don't really. Who's in the Big 12? Is it like Northwestern?
Well, there's some powerhouses because the Kansas Jayhawks are in it.
Oh,
so I don't know, man. Who knows?
So Kansas State in there too?
Yeah,
watch out for them, man.
No, I don't know. Is Kansas State in there? I don't know.
Either way.
There's right. Like I said, man, there's some real powerhouses there in that conference. There's the West Virginia Mountaineers. They're a team in there.
Man.
There's the Iowa State Cyclones.
Whoa,
perennial powerhouse.
Look,
so I want to do a thought experiment. This is what I'd like to do. I'd like to propose that we I'm going to ask you just a hypothetical question, right?
Okay.
And then you just, I want you to give me what you think would happen in this scenario. So let's just say that we plucked Vanderbilt directly out of the SEC, right?
Yeah.
And let's say we slapped them in the Pac-12 amongst teams like no longer Colorado, but previously Colorado, Oregon, the Utah Utes, the Oregon State Beavers,
nice name.
Storied franchise, Arizona State Sun Devils, who you may have heard of, and the USC Trojans, the vaunted USC Trojans,
of course, come on,
and the UCLA Bears, and even the Stanford Cardinal, which does not have an S on the end. So let's just say that we took Vanderbilt out and we slapped them right in the middle of these juggernauts of college football, these storied college football franchises. Where does Vanderbilt finish in this conference?
I would say they will finish close to dead last, like they always do.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna prove you a point. Utah last year gave Florida the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Utah is what, like Nobody's talking about Utah like
Florida
that.
had a bad year though. They also
But it don't
finished in the
matter. It
bottom
don't
half of
matter.
the SEC.
They was better than who? Who you just told me about?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Ah,
Vanderbilt. That's
I'm
true.
just saying, don't sleep on the Pac-12, man. They got talent out there.
I didn't realize you were such a passionate Pac-12 defender.
I'm not, but I put it to you this way. You know why I know so much about the Pac-12? Because I stay up late at night.
You're a big Pac-12 football fan. That's fine, man. You don't have to be embarrassed. You don't have to explain yourself to us.
Football, man.
You don't have to explain yourself to us. That's fine.
Man, look, I like football all day, so I start at 8 in the morning. I don't stop until about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when the Pac-12 is on.
Hey, go Pac-12. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. Go Pac-12 football. But either way, you're going to be going without Colorado. That's just the way that you're going to go. That's the way things are going to go.
All right. So moving on, man. You know what I'm saying? Some real sad, disturbing news that came across our timeline, man. It was LeBron James' son, Bronny James. He had a cardiac arrest while he was at practice at USC, a Pac-12 team. And you know, so I guess he's recovering out of the hospital now, man. You know, just like, what is your opinion on that situation, and you know how social media is like, you know what I'm saying, bigging it up, and you know what they got to do with that.
I mean, I think it's terrible when that's one of the things I hate the most about social media. So anytime there's like a tragedy or a you know, something that where people's lives really, you know, very human lives in existence are kind of impacted in a big way. People run on social media and they jump out with whatever they think matters in that situation, whatever narrative they care about at that time or whatever thing they want to say. I don't like it. And it happens, you know, I don't like to pretend like this only happens on one side of the political spectrum. So you get in trouble because nobody wants to take responsibility on either side ever. But it's gross and it happens all the time, and I hate it. And so, you know, I think the first thing that people should do is just you should just have basic empathy and sympathy for these people. Yeah. This is a bad thing to go through. It's weird to me, and maybe this is just a sign of my age, that people want to jump on social media and express strong opinions about this thing that does not matter to them, but matters a great deal to another living human being. Yeah. I don't understand that.
It's everybody has and wants to voice their opinion. The greatest dopamine on earth is getting that like off social media. And that is our drug of choice right now. I don't care about the opioid epidemic and all that stuff. Our drug of choice right now is getting likes and getting recognized for some of the weirdest, craziest, whatever take you can give. Everybody wants to give that take, and everybody wants to be, you know what I'm saying, I'm the one that said this to them, that shock jock type value, you know. So, and with that situation, man, I feel what you're saying. It's sad that people are going on here attacking this dude's father. Like, his son just had a heart attack, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's just a weird thing to do.
Like, who you wouldn't do that to your neighbor down the street?
No, you wouldn't do that literally to anybody at all, except for a person on social media.
If your neighbor came up to you and said, "Yeah, man, my son just had a heart attack," and you were like, "Oh, you know, you come off as a real butthole," you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, for sure.
So the same way you would treat people in person, if you wouldn't do that to their face in person, don't go online doing the same thing, especially if you don't even know the whole story.
You know, at the same time, because, you know, Roscoe's getting pretty preachy on you guys.
Yeah.
I just want to say, you guys are all too old to parent, man. We shouldn't have to tell you how to use social media or be decent human beings. If you can't figure it out, then just look within your soul. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? Like, just, you need to be, I don't understand why people care about the things that they care about so much. I don't understand what it is. Until social media came along, I had no idea that people were as attached to their opinions as they really are. And I don't really get any of it. I don't know what makes people think that I have to care about what they say. And then it's even sadder when people think they have to care about what others are saying. I don't get it, man. Like, you guys got to cut it out. I think you guys got to cut it out.
hold on. You were saying I was getting preachy, but you stepped in the pulpit and did the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't like that you beat me to the thing I was trying to do.
Oh, my
Like
fault.
it
I'm
was,
sorry.
I didn't like you
I'm
tried
sorry.
to.
See, this is how social media work. You're like, oh, you beat me to my point.
So I had to one up you. Yeah, exactly. I had to go up to the next level. Yeah. You liked it, and then I did an angry face emoji. That's what happened just now, I
There
think.
you go. See, that's how social media works, people. See, we're teaching you on here. Like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, YouTube, for helping us get this message out. This is an important message, YouTube, that you're letting us get out right now. So soak up some knowledge. You open up your third eye.
Table Talks here to show you how to use social media. Okay, like, subscribe, comment. Give us your opinion on what you think we should talk about next, and we'll tell you what you need to worry about on social media, kids.
And if you just want to say something mean and rude, you can also do that because, people like to use social media for that. So who knows, man? I'm not here to judge you is all I'm saying.
I like mean comments because it makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? That somebody is, I really touched your nerve if you really have a mean comment to say to me.
It's kind of a disgusting habit of mine, but I like to read people's mean comments on social media. I don't know why. I don't know if I'm just glutton for punishment. I don't know what my problem is, but I like it, man. Not mean comments about me. I'm pretty non-controversial. Everyone likes me is the way I like to view it. But I am, man. Like reading other people's mean comments about other things. I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy that. People get really invested in the social media, and especially, they feel like their opinions matter very much.
And they do. They do matter. Maybe. You know who they matter to? Themselves, man.
Yeah. And the 4 or 5 people who like their posts.
I mean, hey, man, look, it's like, man, they found a situation that they felt strongly about that they want to voice their opinion, plus what their, their ideas is and how they project things to happen and how they're supposed to happen. But like we just said before, I'm trying to one up you right now. Like we said before, man, just use it wisely and leave us a mean comment if you want to. We'll read it out loud. Talk about Fred since, nobody.
Or say something encouraging to us. You could just say, hey, Fred, I really am also a big fan of Miami Dolphins. Thank you so much for your support or something like that. Or just go. A matter of fact, we just went out to dinner tonight, man. Breaking news. Went out to dinner tonight. We sat at the bar. My daughter wasn't with us. We sat at the bar, had dinner. A dude like 3-4 seats down looks at me. He smiles, which, so, I'm already kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? And then he gives me one of these fingers and he's like, hey, go Dolphins. And I was like, yeah, go Dolphins, buddy. So, we're everywhere, man. We're in the mountains. We're wherever you look, there's Dolphins fans around.
Oh, okay. You was at Bulldogs?
No.
Into the bar?
No.
So, y'all Dolphins fans out there, please keep giving Fred the finger. He loves it, all right?
Yeah, go Dolphins.
Speaking of the Dolphins, speaking of the NFL, our next topic going on, we're talking about the NFL, man, and this preseason just started. Camps just opened up, and it's been a couple of key injuries out there, man. The first one being Joe Burrow getting carted off the field for an ankle injury, and the next one is Mr. Jalen Ramsey. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Ramsey, he got carted off. He's going to be hurt for the next 6 to 8 weeks, man. A Dolphin, you know what I'm saying? I mean to break it to you like that, but how do you feel about this too early, preseason injuries to key players, and how are we supposed to keep them safe? Or, what are they supposed to do about all this, man? What is their next move?
Well, so I want to say this from a fan's perspective. I don't know, I know maybe you look more for the insider perspective when you tune in here, but I'm just giving it to you as a Dolphins fan. The guy who said go Dolphins to me at the bar confidently and out loud several seats away, this was after the news about Jalen Ramsey came out. So he's obviously still feeling good publicly about his Dolphins. So I think that's part of it. We're not going to get down. This is a bummer. This 6 to 8 weeks is actually just the early end of when he could be out. They have to go into his knee. They said he didn't tear his ACL, but they got to go into his knee and look around to assess the damage to know for sure how long he'll be back. The earliest he could be back is 6 to 8 weeks, which would put him back the beginning of the season. That's best case scenario. We don't know that yet. It's obviously not what you want. I mean, this guy's a perennial Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
You signed him to make a difference. However, we know that Tua has committed to playing football through 2 championship Super Bowl rings.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop you
there. Deliver us 2 straight Super Bowl rings. So it's unfortunate, but Jalen Ramsey's just a piece of the puzzle. Tua will get it done.
Okay. Anyway, like I said, and I know I asked this question. I said, "What do you think they should do?" I didn't want you to go off on a tangent of Dolphins still gonna win the Super Bowl. But I would say this about Joe Burrow.
They're going to win 2 Super Bowls in a row. I just want that on the record. I don't want you shorting them one of those Super Bowls.
Gotcha. I got you.
Okay,
bro.
Thank you.
So, but Joe Burrow being hurt, that is a big blow to Cincinnati because he is their everything. And without him, they go back to being the Bungles again. So, hopefully it's not that serious. Hopefully it's not like, KD and, what I'm saying, his calf injury that became an Achilles tear and all that stuff. But I would say that for them to be getting hurt this early in the season, man, either they worked out too hard or they didn't work out hard enough. It is record-breaking heat out there, man, and you got to take care of your bodies. You got to take care of yourself, drink your water, get plenty of fluids. Like my man here, I'm getting my fluids.
Yep.
But
the wine glass if you can.
For Jalen Ramsey being hurt, I would say that is a big blow to the Dolphins because that really, 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 really hurts their chances of going back to back to the what was it called again? The playoffs. You said they're going to the playoffs back to back, right?
No, the Super Bowl. They're going to win
Super Bowl. But yeah,
win the Super Bowl back to back was what
you signed somebody for that much money, and they, like you said, they're top-notch DB within a division that throws the ball a lot. And you just got what's that guy? Aaron Rodgers in your division, and he's going to sling that pill around a couple of which ways too. Like I told y'all a couple of episodes earlier, man. Like the Jets is looking up for the Jets.
He's no Tua.
I understand because everybody loves scrambled eggs for breakfast, but
he's just not ready. You guys aren't ready for Tua. That's what it is.
So
the world hasn't believed yet.
I would go like this here. So if you are a head coach, NFL, and you saw these 2, top-notch players get hurt, do you change the way you practice? Do you curb your star players back, or do you dismiss it because everybody gets hurt or whatever? What is your next steps, and how do you approach this situation?
I think it's hard to say because there's not enough known about these 2 and both of these injuries. So like the Jalen Ramsey situation, he was covering Tyreek Hill. So I think you could make an argument that Tyreek Hill might hurt a lot of people's knees this season. So yeah, maybe that's a thing you might say, well, I don't know. Should we have, our top guy covering our top receiver? That I don't quite get, especially if you're Jalen Ramsey and you've been doing it for a long time. And then, Tyreek Hill's like a special skill set. So don't do this. But the Joe Burrow thing, I don't know. I mean, that was non-contact, I think. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember.
He was just rolling out. And then you just saw him spike the ball down.
You kind of feel like you need your quarterback to roll out in non-contact drills, at least, kind of get loosened up. Even that doesn't feel over the top. So I guess my point is maybe both of these are different. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Jalen Ramsey thing, you could certainly make a point for. I don't know if he needs to be covering Tyreek Hill at in the end of July. I don't think that makes sense.
You ever heard the expression "iron sharpens iron," man?
I mean, I get it, and I really do, but it's July. Let's relax, bro. There's still time. Like, just warm up the fire. You don't have to start sharpening your iron first, there, Mister Blacksmith. You know what I mean? Like, just wait a minute.
Look, they don't become perennial Pro Bowlers simply by taking it easy when it's showtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you got a lot invested in these guys, and look, Tua is going to need a lot of help to win both of those back-to-back Super Bowl championships. So you know it's all hands on deck. So hopefully it's a speedy recovery for Jalen Ramsey.
Need all the quarterbacks to hurt their Achilles and knees.
Well, me and that guy from the bar at dinner tonight, we're pulling for you, Jalen Ramsey. So just get better.
All right, so I got another question about that then.
Yes.
Who is one player from your team that if they do get hurt, that your season is done?
You know, I got two that could go into this position as a 1A and 1B. And it's really, I mean, it's honestly, it's Waddle or Hill, right? Because that's what, to me, that's if Tua can just get that ball down the field to these guys, right? Like, that's going to be a lot for defenses to deal with. These guys are very, very fast. So, you know, like, and I mean, Tyreek Hill's a really good route runner. So there's a lot of things happening here. But having both of those guys is what makes the Dolphins a unique threat. If you lose one of them, I think maybe it cuts one of the, you know, it makes that offense quite a bit less dynamic than it is with both of those guys out there.
That makes sense. So you said the two receivers, right?
Yeah, either one.
So you didn't even say Tua at all because you've been hollering Tua this whole time. You didn't say Tua. If Tua,
I'm just gonna say,
man, you know,
I'm just gonna say that you could get another quarterback theoretically. If you have,
come on, dude.
Well, you also have to consider that Tua's already committed to not getting hurt for the next 2 years. That's part of the 2-year Super Bowl package. I've mentioned that in the past on this very podcast.
Man, look, I asked you that simply because I knew that you was not going to say Tua.
Yeah, but you don't. If you have a healthy Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, then you've got a chance basically every game, man. One of those dudes is breaking a long one. Like, that's going to happen. Doesn't matter necessarily who's throwing it to him. I just think Tua is the guy to deliver. Okay. And plus, he's committed to not getting hurt, so he can't be one of those. There's no eliminating Tua. Tua is the Dolphins for the next for these 2 consecutive Super Bowl championships.
Well, look, if you're out there, if you're watching, man, go ahead and comment. Let us know who your team cannot afford to lose and why. You know what I'm saying? Because the Dolphin fans clearly can lose Tua anytime they want to, but just not Hill and Waddle. So it's on record. He said it. We got to record it. Thank you very much. Moving on.
Let us know why you think the Dolphins are going to do well this season in the comments.
Moving on. With some very unconventional and some funny stuff that we saw on the internet today. This happened to be with the NFL, so we have an NFL theme going on. Is Sean Payton takes shots at Nathaniel Hackett's era Broncos, vows to do opposite at one of the worst coaching jobs ever. So, Fred, would you like to enlighten us on what he said and how he said it, and you know what I'm saying, where this is coming from?
Yeah, man. So Sean Payton introduced himself to the media in his new position as the Broncos head coach I don't even know, man, like a bananas way. But he was very emphatic about it. He called the previous coach, who is currently the offensive coordinator for the New York Jets, Nathaniel Hackett. He called him, this is a quote from ESPN from Jeff Legwold, great name, ESPN senior writer Jeff Legwold, quote, one of the worst coaching jobs in the history of the NFL. So NFL is pretty old, man. It's been around for a number of years. And this is one of the worst jobs of coaching that has ever happened. He also said in a comment that grossed me out a little bit that there were, quote, 20 dirty hands around quarterback Russell Wilson's career worst season, which just feels a little graphic. I think there's another way he could have worded that. And then he went on to say that everything he learned they were doing last season, they're doing the opposite. So I don't know, man. Like, do the Broncos and Jets play each other this year? What's that going to be like?
I think they do. I'm gonna go ahead and check that out. But I hope that they play because this is high comedy.
He went ham on Nathaniel Hackett, as the kids used to say.
This is high comedy. It is hilarious, man. It is it is one of those things that is very unconventional for him because he's not that type of guy to go off like that. But you know how bad you have to be for somebody who's very mild mannered and keeps his stuff close to his vest to go off and say how horrible you are at your job, man.
This was like his
really have to
first.
be bad.
This was like his first meeting with the media.
Yeah,
This
the
was
very
like
first meeting
among
with
the
media.
first things he talked about.
That's
Wild.
It's so wild because it's hilarious because you sit there thinking like, well, they were horrible, you know what I'm saying? And Russell Wilson did look like very pedestrian, and he might have a point, you know. He is Sean Payton, but the way he went, and the other crazy thing is not like the head coach is not coaching anymore anywhere.
Right.
He's the offensive coordinator of the Jets, and he's sitting there watching this on the news like, wow, bro, you could have called me on the phone. Like, man, this
It's just so
crazy,
great.
man.
Like what I love about this is like the press comes in his office and there's multiple people. This wasn't just one. There was a few people who wrote about this, so they were in the room. And he's like, "Hey guys, welcome to Denver. This is my office. Really excited to be in charge of the Denver Broncos this season. You have a proud tradition. Let me tell you real quick about this butthole who was here before me." That's wild, right?
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy that he went off like that. They play each other week 5 in Denver.
No, that's
week 5 in Denver.
Okay.
I will be tuned in.
That could be a rough night for Nathaniel Hackett, though, man. Like that could, who knows, man? What night? This is in November, so might not be snowing.
October. It's in October.
Oh yeah. It won't be probably snowing, so I don't know if he'll get hit with any snowballs. But he's probably gonna get heckled in that stadium after Sean Payton said he did one of the worst coaching jobs in NFL history.
When he compares somebody to having dirty hands on him, man, like
20
dirty hands, like
a lot of dirty hands.
So he wasn't just talking about Nathaniel Hackett himself. He was talking about
everything around it.
Everybody around him, even the custodians didn't do a good job because everybody's hands were dirty.
Burn it down, Denver.
Yeah, the cafeteria workers didn't do a good job sanitizing the cafeteria because everybody's hands were dirty. You know what I'm saying? The lawn guy was, had yard clippers and dirt. He ain't blow it off. He just let everything be. Like everybody's dirty. Basically, he said Pigpen came in and coached the Broncos last year and just left.
The valet was stealing change out of my car.
Stealing change, the water boys were spitting in the water. Put vodka in the Gatorade.
Oh man, that's crazy.
The trainers didn't use real athletic tape. They used masking tape. They was taping people up with masking tape.
Our Bronco mascot had a pulled muscle. Everything was wrong. It was one of the worst jobs that any coach has ever done in the history of the NFL.
You know how bad? Oh my God!
I do feel like though this puts a little pressure on him because like you need to, you don't want to come out and be bad. You know what I mean? Like then it's gonna not look so good, right? Because
he did.
But maybe he's trying to buy himself a year. You know? Yeah.
He did say that we're going to the playoffs. So like, if you don't make it, but look at the division he's in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta. Well, right now too, you got. I mean, there's Oakland or whatever, wherever they play.
Oakland.
I think they're Oakland. No, and then they're garbage. And then you've got San Diego, which is
they don't exist anymore.
Which is I don't know, man. Like they might be. They could look pretty solid this year.
Nobody plays in San Diego or Oakland anymore, dude.
But then you've got I don't know. What is. And then you've got Kansas City. So you got Oakland, San Diego, Kansas City. I mean, things are shaping up for a dramatic season in that division.
The whole division. I get it. Like, don't be mad at us because
I will say this. Look, I don't pretend to know the most about football of anyone. I will say that even before they moved to Los Angeles, that every 3 years or so, I forget that the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers are even a franchise. Like if I had to name all of the NFL franchises, for sure the one that I'm going to leave off is the Chargers. Every few years I just kind of forget that they
I feel
exist.
you. I
So
feel
that's
you.
that's the AFC West for you. That's the division. So I don't
feel
know,
you.
man. I mean, we'll see. I think you got to do well. I mean, I think you got to finish second, at least second in this division after talking this crap. And you have to not get embarrassed by Kansas City in either game.
Yeah, you cannot. You cannot.
It's important.
So, moving on from that, man. You know what I'm saying? We did see what is it called? Supernatural things that happen.
Yes. UAP. So yeah, this is what you call aliens now, or UFOs. You're not allowed to call them UFOs. You have to call them unidentified anomalous phenomenon. That's what UAP stands for. And who knows why that is, man? There could be a conspiracy associated with that. Who maybe there's not. Maybe it's just on the level. Maybe it's just scientifically clear. But there was a hearing today in the House, I believe. I believe this was in the House. This was David Grush. And is it David? That's correct, right? Yeah, David Grush, who served 14 years as an intelligence officer for the Air Force and National Guard Intelligence Agency. This is according to CBS News. He went in front of, literally our government, and on the record said, a lot of things. One of the things he said was that, that the government had biological entities, recovered biological entities from some craft. He confirmed that these craft are real. He also said something that kind of surprised me. So, like when UFOs became like on the pop culture radar, when they started, when they came into the zeitgeist, as they say in podcast land.
Big word.
Yeah, I'm pretty smart. When they came into that, it was in the 40s because of Roswell. Like everyone's heard of Roswell, where the quote unquote the weather balloon went down, and so I always thought that was when aliens kind of came on the scene. Grush says to the House of Representatives, a branch of our, U.S. government, he says that on the record, under oath, says that the first alien was recovered in 1930s. So, yeah, and way before. So, 20 years before. So, this is weird, right? Because we've seen these videos come out in recent years that the government has released of these, very credible and well-trained Air Force pilots footage that they've caught in flight with the Tic Tac objects, I think they call them. And I don't know, man. Like this testimony feels like it's something that people should be talking about, at least around the water cooler, but maybe even on all the newses. But maybe not, man. Maybe aliens. Maybe we're finding out aliens are real, and everyone's just too busy making mean comments on each other's social media posts. I don't know what the deal is.
So social media is basically cloud, not judgment. So this goes back to, I think it was last week, we put up the video of the young lady on the airplane who was like, "This MF is not real back here." So could she be wrong? You know what I'm saying? Was that their way of introducing us to the, what do you call them, UAPs, whatever?
Yeah. They even changed the name. They even changed their identity, bro. That's how you know they're a threat.
So and they coming out with all these shows. What's the one I told you about?
The Samuel L. Jackson one. Yeah.
Yeah, and and it's all types of little movies out there. You know what I'm saying? That I just saw a show recently called They Cloned Tyrone. Man, it was sort of in that same breath. It was. So I think, in my honest opinion, what I'm saying, most people might not agree with me, but I think aliens have been here, you know what I'm saying? And I think majority of people around me are aliens. And you can go ahead and tell us now, Fred, what you really are. I mean, the people are not afraid of you anymore, Fred. They will embrace you. They've seen you for 29 episodes now, man. And under that beard is like gills. He can breathe.
It's true. I do have gills under my beard. That's a fact.
But yeah, I mean the whole thing that he's talking to the government about it. It gives it some type of legitimacy, but also,
yeah, I mean, this guy's not a crackpot. This guy is a career intelligence official with the U.S. government.
Yeah.
He's not just some dude who's walking up and being like, "Hey, man, I read a lot of books or saw some things in the sky." This guy's he's spitting facts, as the kids maybe have said at some point. So, what I'm saying is, he's telling people under oath, because you have to be sworn in to do this, and you're testifying in front of the federal politicians, federal representatives. This is some stuff that he's saying. He said that he said he was informed. He also served as a representative on 2 Pentagon task force investigating UAPs until earlier this year. He told lawmakers that he was informed of a, quote, this is according to CBS News, he says, a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program. So this means UAPs are going down. Go get those, retrieve them, bring them back. Let's reverse engineer. Let's work on what we have and figure out how to make this and scale it. So I don't know, man. This feels like a thing. This feels kind of like an important thing. So I don't know.
I would say I've seen plenty of movies where the UFOs crash and they basically say, oh yeah, all this technology using, we got it from them. You know what I'm saying? Like social media and the iPhones and the iPods and just the simple way how cars work now. Just televisions, how televisions are like a dime a dozen. And
I mean, I don't want to age us. But we're not young. You can probably tell. You can probably guess we're not that young. So think about technology just in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
It is kind of bananas. Like we were full-grown adults by the time the internet really became a thing, where it was accessible.
Yeah.
So we've had to live to the foot in one world and then not in the other. And I mean, it's hard to even, I've seen videos on the internet of like people showing kids cassette tape
and they don't know
and being like, hey, what's this? I know what a cassette tape is. I mean, I know that if you stuff some little tissue into the little things that you reuse them and record them. I know how to operate a cassette tape and CDs, and you show things like this to kids and phones. I mean, technology has kind of really accelerated in the last few decades, which could make you wonder, all right, how did we get this? You know what I mean? Like, what is going on here? Because this feels so much different than what we experienced, not, in our lifetime.
Like you say, the kids not knowing. We was watching a movie and somebody two-way paid somebody in the movie and they heard it. You know what I'm saying? So my daughter was like, what's that? I said, oh, that's how people used to send text messages. You had to buy a whole separate device to text somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have it all in one. I say, you had to buy a phone and your phone only just called people. Then you had to buy the two-way pager. Then you had to buy a camera. I say, now all of those are together. I say, when they put the phones on the cameras on the phone, that was like big stuff.
Phones are an invention that are hard. Smartphones are an invention that it's really hard to get kids nowadays to envision a world without them. I mean, how do you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what did the world look like? I kind of forgot.
She said to me, how did y'all communicate?
It was weird.
I'm like, what we did.
I'll say that.
We knew where each other was. We could gather somewhere and find out about parties or it was just.
You found a way.
It was because that's what we was used to. But
then some aliens crash, bro, and now we can all talk to each other immediately, and we can leave mean comments about things that do not matter to us, which is the most important aspect of the internet. Obviously, that's how it works.
Aliens, if you are here, man, you know what I'm saying.
Come in peace. This is the first thing you should probably know.
I don't come in peace. I might talk about you.
I do. I want you to remember, Alien, that I do.
Trust me, he does. Anyway, he
Roscoe's views and opinions do not necessarily reflect
Look,
those
look
of the
scared
Fourth
of
in the
him,
Game
man.
podcast. I don't know if aliens are litigious. I don't know what they're gonna do to us. I don't want to get sued by an alien.
I will allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, Roscoe doesn't come in peace.
But
Aliens.
I would say this. Just because the dude, what was his name again? Grush.
Grush. David Grush.
Just because he testified in front of politicians, that don't make it legit, because we all know politicians lie. We all know, I don't want to get too political, but we all know that sometimes the government can't be too forthwith with information about this. But for him to do that and for them to publish it, that is huge. So we need to look more into it. All my UFO geeks out there, man, let us know. Leave a mean comment. You know what I'm saying? Talk about Fred Gills, all that good stuff. So,
but I'm just gonna say, you don't know if aliens are real until you see one in person.
Yeah.
Maybe shake its hand or do like the alien equivalent to shaking its hand. So until you actually physically interact with an alien, I'm just gonna tell you, maybe be somewhat skeptical. I think Roscoe just came in contact with an alien that a UAP that
I was just sending the signal back to my home base. I got it. So we're coming towards the end, people. We have been enjoying our time. This is stuff that only matters to us. And I just saw a comment. Somebody said AT aliens are real.
No, they are.
Yes, they are real.
Sometimes they're in your sock drawer. I've heard. Which is weird, but yes, I mean, that's not necessarily where you want to find AT aliens, but they could be there.
I don't want AT aliens in my sock drawer. Especially not in my elevators either. I don't want AT aliens in there.
You never know. You never know where they are.
I don't even need to peek them through my window. Or, what I'm saying?
They're all over. They're all over.
But yeah, this is something, this is our part of the show, man, where, stuff that matters to us and only us. So Fred, please tell us something that matters to you and only you right now, my man.
So I got like exciting news and then nervous news. And the exciting news is like I'm going to Florida this weekend. So we're all leaving. Family's going down to Florida. We're gonna do some. We're gonna stay near the water.
Yeah.
I'll probably eat a lot of seafood, chill out, maybe drink some beers down there. Mm-hmm. The downside is that we're flying, and we're flying on a company. I'm not gonna say the name because I want Fourth in the Game to blow up just as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
But I will say I am nervous. Me and Roscoe, we were talking about this pre-recording, and I think he's got me jittery.
That's what I'm here for.
It's it's not expensive, I'll say that, but I also kind of feel like I'm sort of weighing out, like maybe I'm budgeting, and then I'm taking an added risk because of the budget. So yeah, I'm a little nervous because I'm not big on flying, and I've got I've seen some weird things on some of these flights. So I just hope me and my family get there safely. At least get there safely so we can stay in the Airbnb we got. Okay. And if we have any kind of plane trouble, then we would, that would be preferably on the way back. So at least we didn't waste all that money on the Airbnb. But I'd like both the trips to be safe. The one there and the one there
coming back.
That's what I prefer. I just hope that this airline doesn't let me down. I'm worried about it, but I'm looking forward to the trip.
Stop being so scary, man. You be
hey,
all right.
Man.
Look.
I just hope a woman does not stand up on this flight and tell me that some MF in the back is not real, because I will not know how to react. I don't know that I'm going to think fast enough to get my phone out and record. I might just freeze in a panic. I could cry. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want my daughter to see me cry on this plane, is what I'm saying to you. So,
please, if you're out there, please send Fred good well wishes.
Yeah,
man,
definitely your thoughts and prayers, please. Bring them.
Prayer line, whatever you do, man.
Swing those thoughts and prayers around here.
Oh my goodness! Please let them know it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine, man. Trust me, man. hope,
true,
I hope
man.
your daughter don't see you crying.
I
That
hope
is not a
not.
good thing.
I hope not.
That'll be disturbing. Aliens and then daddy cry.
Oh man.
Oh, what is a kid gonna do these days? Oh my goodness, man. But okay. Well, what matters to me is that my homeboy coming into town this weekend, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna hang out a little bit. If you ever know, Fred just said he coming to town to hang out, so that's what matters to me. Also, another thing that matters to me is that love is in the air, that I think. And that I saw that, KD and his homeboy Brittany, like, they got together, they embracing, they loving each other, you know what I'm saying? And I love to see love, and I love that they're spreading love. So if you're out there, if you find that certain somebody for you, man, whoever it is for you, embrace them, love them to death. Shout out to Katie and Brittany. I mean, Brian, whatever he she goes by. I don't know the pronoun. I don't want to disrespect nobody. So whatever love, you know what I'm saying, embrace that. But also another thing that matters to me is that school is about to start back again down here in Tampa, Florida, and that means the end of my summer, and I'm not really looking forward to that. I do love my job, but I do love summertime as well. So I get one last hurrah this weekend to do what I do best, and get back into the grind of things, man. But that's what I care about. I went school shopping the other day for my kids, man.
How was that? Was that fun? Was that a fun time?
It was. I put it. I charted up as fatherly duties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something that.
Did you guys listen to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince Parents Just Don't Understand on your way to this trip? Because that would have been fun.
That would have been funny. I should have thought of that. But no, see, I look at it like this here. Like, most people are like, oh man, why I got to go shopping with the kids? I don't need to be here. But I look at it as you only get that time with them. And then when they get older, you know what I'm saying, you ain't going to be able to go school shopping anymore. You're not going to be able to do the little things, see them pick out the first day outfits they get excited about. So I just enjoyed seeing that, seeing them pick out, their styles and how they taste change, because we let our daughter just pick out whatever she wants because, she's a high schooler, and let my son pick out whatever he wants.
I bet she liked going shopping with her parents. She was probably very happy to go school clothes shopping with her parents.
Like the movies, like, give me this, give me that,
wow.
Stuff. Give me that. But, my son, he was like, man, look, all I need is some light up shoes, a backpack, and one t-shirt, and I'm straight, daddy. I'm good for the rest of the year. I said, you need more than one t-shirt, bro.
Why would I need anything else?
He said,
I just wear this t-shirt every day.
we was waiting outside because my wife and my daughter was in there shopping in the store. And he was like, Daddy, we can leave now. I got my stuff. And I said, bro, you only got one pair of shoes. He said, I really don't need those because I got these on my feet. I got a t-shirt at home. I'm good, Daddy. I say, son, you need more than one outfit to go to school. He said, I don't.
No, he was ready, man. He's ready.
I said, what about pants? He said, He said, like it was an option that he wasn't going to wear pants. So that is the dynamic of school shopping with your kids, man. You get both aspects of it. So that was a beautiful thing, man. I embrace it. All you parents out there, man, embrace it, love it.
It was enjoy your time. Roscoe family memories is what you shared. Yeah.
So yeah, man, that was it for the day, man. That was a good show. My homeboy Fred is in the building. This is fourth in the game. Mr. Payne will be back.
Yeah,
Ball will be back. Hopefully these boys enjoying their vacations and stuff, man. Shout out to them.
They need your encouragement in the comments. They need you to tell them they're doing a great job, so so they feel good about getting out here and doing what we're doing. Carrying the burden for the show. We're carrying the show. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we all know who the talent is on the show, man. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but
I mean, we got on here and knocked it right out, guys. So
there we go, man. I
would have been nice to see
Fred,
you,
but yeah, we do what we do best. Fourth in the game is in the building. We are out. What you got to say, Fred?
Peace. See you guys from Florida.
Peace.